Imagine, if you will, a family struggling, or let's say millions of families struggling to find food. Struggling and failing to find food necessary to support a healthy and active lifestyle. Imagine millions of families, adults and children alike, unable to afford food or unable to find food that supports a healthy and active lifestyle as well as supports their needs. What if I told you that what I just described is happening in the United States as we speak? That families you may know or love are being affected by this and are unable to afford to find food or just find places that offer healthy food items. Food insecurity in our country has been and continues to be prevalent. And as stated previously, this can affect families that you may know or love. My goal for the next few minutes is to look with you into how severe food insecurity is in our nation. With my background in statistical analysis and research from the University of North Texas, I am able to collect data, interpret it, and present it to you all for you all to understand, as well as highlight how severe food insecurity is in our own nation. I will be discussing how food insecurity's large presence is affecting our country. In a 2022 journal article titled "Food Insecurity Among African Americans in the United States: A Scoping View, Statistical Analysis and Research Experts in the Field of Food Insecurity," Elizabeth Denard and co-writers found that in 2019, 13.7 million American households were being classified as food insecure, and 4.1% of those households were being classified as very food insecure. And this number is 5.3 million households. And they also found, these experts, that just after COVID-19 started in 2020, that this number almost tripled, leaving more Americans struggling and unable to afford to find food. In a 2014 journal article titled "Map the Meal Gap, Exploring Food Insecurity at the Local Level," experts on the subject of food insecurity, research analysis, data collection, and data presentation, Craig Gunderson and co-writers found that in 2010, food insecurity was affecting local financial stability within communities, ultimately causing them to be unable to afford food as well as find food that is healthy for consumption. With this caused a negative cycle, creating poverty rates to increase as well as food insecurity rates to increase. This negative cycle has a direct correlation between the two. So when one increases, the other also increases. They also found that because of this direct correlation, this can almost be double because of the lack of this financial stability in the communities. The level of severity food insecurity has in our country is getting increasingly out of hand. It's becoming a huge problem for the citizens of our country. If this problem is not solved, our country will be dealing with poverty and food insecurity rates higher than we have ever seen. I discussed how food insecurity is within our country and its severity. But what if I told you that there's a solution, that there's a way for us to put a stop to this increase? A solution for this would be for the financial government to pass a law that allocates funds to states experiencing high volumes of food insecurity. What the federal government would do would look into and study what states are experiencing the highest volume of food insecurity at the county level, and then supply those states with funds that help create a fail-safe, meaning that this fail-safe would close the gap between communities that are financially secure and communities that are financially insecure. Ultimately, this would create a trickle-down effect to cause programs to open up to support these communities, that would hold fundraisers, that would have funds available for individuals who cannot afford their own food. This will help maintain financial stability in communities that have been previously struggling with food insecurity and poverty, as well as supplying individuals with food that they need. In a 2022 journal article titled "Household Food Insecurity Risk Indices for English Neighborhoods, Measures to Support Local Policy," experts in the field of food insecurity in London, data analysis and data collection, Diana M. Smith and co-writers found that with the lack of government-assisted funds and the lack of government intervention, that this would cause long-term effects for communities that are already food insecure. And because of this lack, this would also cause an increase in food insecurity in these communities by 5%. Having the federal government pass a law that helps its citizens overcome food insecurity is vital, and it needs to happen now, not just for the surrounding communities, but for our very own. This can be done by those who are willing to push for it, and those individuals could be you. In summary, Food insecurity in our country is increasing at a significant rate and is affecting millions of Americans on a daily basis. And this new law is the answer to put this increase to a halt, and by having our government being involved. Individuals like you can help push this to pass, to be a part of a piece of legislation that will put an end to food insecurity in our country. What if you were the family struggling to find food? What if you were the family that was struggling and unable to afford to find food to support a healthy lifestyle?